All right, now I'm gonna start on the second half of the Black Clover, I guess Spade Kingdom Invasion arc review. This will be covering chapters 274 through 331. So in the beginning of the second half of the arc, we have the Black Clover, I guess invasion force or attack group already set up. They already sneaked into the Spade Kingdom, and they go ahead and just set out their plan. Knock explains the plan where each group or the group gonna be split into three separate groups, and they're gonna find the Dark Triad in order to stop them from completing the Tree of Quaffloth gate by defeating them. And while that's going on, when they're invading the castle, we see the Spade Kingdom resistance, where we see that there's actually a resistant force going against the Spade Kingdom, and they set up a plan with Noct to where they will appear as I guess basically as fodder, basically as to take their eyes off the actual threat, which is the Clover Kingdom. But we see that the Dark Triad has a plan of their own, which is awakening the ancient devils. And that's one thing I want to get into a little bit about the ancient devils. It's like like Tabata showed us the ancient devils of the Spade Kingdom, but we didn't really get nothing out of it, like nothing lore wise, like how did they came to be, how were they sealed, why were they sealed, why wasn't they already just defeated when they became devils? Like only thing we got was that oh, there was two friends that were rivals, and then their rivalry turned to hatred, and then they both became devils. Like that short, brief, little story, like that sounded pretty interesting. Like it would have been cool if hopefully Tabata explains it more, maybe in the future or the last arc. But I guess we had to see. But other than that, one of the two devils had appeared in front of the Spade Kingdom, about to destroy the Spade citizens and the Spade resistance. And we see Meliona appears, her first appearance in this current arc. We see she has a little change up where she has her hair shortened and whatnot, and then she also developed a new spell. I forgot what it was called, but basically, well, what's one mage explained, she became mana herself, and I like that new move that's about to made for her because it's another way for Meliona to still be relevant and to still be like the top dog. Just like when Meliona was first introduced, she was already perceived as powerful because she was Fregolion's older brother. And we see throughout the whole series, she had not let us down at all. Like she lives up to the hype and to the fame. So I really like that. I really do like her character and how she was basically handling the Asian Devil on her own, which was pretty cool. Then while that is happening, while Meliona is fighting the Ancient Devil, we have the Clover Kingdom um whatchamacallit, arrive at the Dark Triad, different locations. We have Yuno and Langris mashing up against Xenon. We have Charlotte and Real mashing up against Vanica, and we have Jack and Noct mashing up against Dante, while the others are fighting against the Dark Disciples. And I believe the first fight we get is Yuno and Langris versus Xenon, and how Yuno explains that he kind of researched on Xenon and know his moves and whatnot, so he found a way to counteract by basically just getting stronger, or he gets a new form called Spirit of Boreas, which is the help due to the help of whatchamacallit. Hey, what was her name? The fairy. What was it? Belle. It was Belle. In which I guess Belle was storing up power Uh, I'm confused as to why she didn't do this before, like during the whole time skip. I don't know what sort of requirements had to be met, but either way, Belle was storing her power, and we can see that her appearance had changed a little bit. Where she seemed like she had like probably like gotten more older physically, and I believe she grown 2 new wings and whatnot. We see that she changed, and I guess because she is in her complete form, just like how Salamander is, where he was just lizard to like a dragon. I guess that's how it was. And now we see that because of that, has access to more I guess different variants of the spirit die form. And shows off Boreas, and Boreas seems to be more of a I guess a more offensive type of transformation. Because Zephyr, I guess you could say Zephyr is kind of like all rounder or more speed. I'm not sure, but Boreas seems to have more damage. We see here that Boreas completely destroys Xenon, I believe at 70%. And after that, we have the fight between Charlotte and Real versus Vanica with her puppets, who she used in the bodies of the Diamond Kingdom soldiers. I like how Tabata brought that around to where even after Xenon defeated the Diamond Kingdom soldiers, Vanica still used them for her needs and whatnot, and that was pretty neat. And we see the Diamond puppets, Diamond soldier puppets already was defeated, got defeated by Charlotte, and we see Charlotte had also developed a new spell due to her training at the Heart Kingdom with the runes. And we see that she used her cursed roses. I forgot which color it was. It's either red or blue, but she used her cursed roses to actually work against the curse, I believe. To where instead of her can't using it because of the curse, she turns it around to where she can use the roses while using cursed energy to boost it up. So that was a pretty cool way of her utilizing her full power with her blue roses and her red roses, and also her transformation was really cool with her in the red and blue roses dress, and the little vine whip too. That was really unique. And then the last fight between those group was Jack and Not versus Dante. Basically, that fight was just Not trying to hype up Jack so Jack can get motivated to cut gravity, in which he did. And we also get a little bit of Jack backstory. Jack backstory was pretty neat. It was clean cut and brief. He was the son of a hunter. His dad wanted him to live the hunter's life, to where he only hunt things that he would know he would kill for sure, and wouldn't be in a life threatening situation. But for Jack wasn't really about that life. He wanted to be more on the risky side. And so after killing the bear that killed his dad, he became a magic knight. I thought that was a pretty clean and brief story of Jack's. How why Jack is what he is. Jack's just like the I guess you could say he's just like the risk and like taking on stronger opponents. And that led to Jack cutting gravity and developing, like, I don't think it's a new spell. I think Jack had an epiphany to where, because I can manifest these blades on my arms. Well, I don't want you to manifest these blades on my body, all around my body, and then just have them cut the air around me to where I can get a feel of gravity magic, and then I can finally cut the gravity. Excuse me. Like me personally, I don't think it's a new transformation. I just think he's using the same spell. He's just using it more on his body. That's me personally. After that, we see Jack actually, because during the fight, in the beginning of the fight, Jack was actually cutting Dante. It's just that Dante was healing faster than he could actually get hurt. But now, Jack actually did a lethal cut to where Dante couldn't heal with his body magic. So it's crazy to see how like Jack doesn't really need no special special or unique move like Yami with Dark Dimension. Like Jack is just that he is that crazy to where he can just develop his own same spell to where he can just damage any type of enemy no matter who it is. And I really like that about Jack. You know, Jack, like I said, Jack doesn't really need any special move. He just really needs to know his opponent's spell and then just adapt to it. So after the fight with Jack, that was the last fight of the group versus the Dark Triad. So basically, the Dark Triad was getting clapped up by the Clover Kingdom. Not was actually surprised because he didn't think things would go that well. Well, I guess he doesn't know, about Black Clover, where people be surpassing their limits. But after that, Na had a weird feeling, and so he checked with his cat devil, and he see that Morris also started getting into the mix of things by accelerating the Tree of Quiflof, and that accelerated to opening the first gate. And with the first gate open, the Dark Triad devil powers was also unleashed to 100%. And me personally, I kind of like all the transformation, even Dante. Like, I know some people didn't like it. I think it was pretty cool how like he looked more devilish, and how his I guess you could say his face paint manifests into like a little bit of a mask. But I'd say out of the excuse me, I think out of all the transformation from the Dark Triad, I think I like Vonica's the most because of the mix of the blood and the devil's design, and how she can like use the blood magic conveniently and whatnot. Like I like Xenon too, but I'm not really messing with the half mask thing. Also with the Dark Triad double powers at 100%. We see the first gate devils emerge, and I thought the first appearance of them was really cool. Like the way Tabata designs devils, like just basic devils, it was pretty cool. Cause like it's like a mixture of like all type of mytholic demons. Like if you look at that one panel of demons, it like one was a werewolf, other one was a goblin. It looked like I think he also drew in like some harpies and whatnot, or some sort of wing type demons. And you can see how Tabata really did put research into just you know the into just I guess demonology and the demons and whatnot. So I really did like how he drew the demons. I kind of like the basic demons designs more than the excuse me, than the supreme level demons. Like don't get me wrong, like I think they're all right. It's just that the design just seems a little bit bleak with them just being covered in all black. Like with Lilith and Nama when they first appeared, we see their design. They're basically just twin devils. Like most of their bodies covered in black. One has fire, one has ice. And also while that was happening, the other second ancient devil had emerged and appeared at the Clover Kingdom, invading it, attempting to head straight to the capital to destroy the Clover Kingdom royals. And when that happened, every Imaginate was trying to stop him. We had Klaus, we had Solid, Nebra, Kirsch, Soul. We had all of them trying to stop it. I think they did pretty well trying to stop one of his attacks. I think Solid himself diverged a attack, which was pretty cool. And after that, we had Julius, with the help of Damnatio, activate his powers again, only for a brief moment. Julius was doing good in the first 3 seconds, where he deteriorated the devil's arm, but it wasn't enough because Julius had immediately went back to his kid form sooner than he expected. And so he was surprised by that. But luckily, Asa came in the nick of time to stop the devil and activate Devil Union. And then we see the first appearance of Devil Union, and I think it was pretty alright. Like some people were saying, he looked like a Power Ranger. I think that was pretty damn funny because he kind of looked like a Power Ranger with the all black, and then he has like the red in some parts of his body. But I think it's pretty cool, and I really do like how Tabata designed it to where the armor changes based on the sword he wields, and also the sword changed too. But I'll talk about that later. But after the first appearance of the Devil Union, we see Asta in all black with parts of his body red. We see a black star in the middle of his chest, and we see, I think it was four, not four, probably five black orbs um, surrounding him. I guess which is basically like, I mean, it is basically part of his power, but we really don't see it because basically Asa he just goes in and just strike the devil, cutting him up because in that form, as Asa explains, he's using anti magic to its full extent, sort of, kind of, because the Devil Union isn't all the way completed. But we see Asa completely impervious to all types of magic, and we see him just slicing the ancient devils up, or ancient devil up, and then we see he's able to enlarge his sword to a more higher degree, to where it's like a skyscraper basically, and he cut the devils up, or the devil up, with everyone, not everyone, but the Magic Knight cheering him on. So that was cool to see that the Magic Knight got his back, saying that, oh, this is awesome. This isn't no random devil. This is the help of one of our Magic Knights and someone who put in a lot of work and effort to get here. Because also in Devil Union, a lot of the Clover citizens thought it was a devil. I mean, technically, it is, but the Magic Knights had just educated them that, oh, it's not just any devil, it's Asta and whatnot. And then after that, after Asta defeated the ancient devil, he actually I guess he set off the timer and whatnot. And then with that, he was assisted with the help of the other Black Clover group. They was about to head out to the Spade Kingdom. While Asa and group was heading over to the Spade Kingdom, we have the First Gate Devils fighting the Spade Resistance. And the Spade Resistance Force, we see how they're holding up, trying to protect the Spade citizens while also trying to fight off the Devils. And let me tell you, I think all of them was really about to get clout. Because like, we can see like the power difference. And if this how the Spade Kingdom Resistance was going to fare against the First Gate Devils, I can only imagine if like all the gates was open. So yeah, while they was on the verge of being defeated, we have Noel's group come in and save the day, and we see they all are ready to join in on the fight. I really did like their entrance, how they kind of pulled up like the Avengers and whatnot, and how they was each striking like a cool pose. And then after that, we see there was a new introduction to the mid-tier devils. Of course, mid-tier devils going to be stronger than the basic tier, or I guess normal tier devils. And I don't know really how it is in the devil world, but it seems like basic devils, I guess they don't have a comprehension of human language. Cause with with mid tier devils, we can see they are literally speaking like human language, or at least I believe they are. Like you can see how they how in the speech bubbles they're speaking the same language as humans. So I just find that interesting how devils can understand and can comprehend human language without ever coming in contact with humans. I should find it interesting how they all share in the same language, or part of it. Because I do know that Zagre, he did spoke one language that was foreign to humans. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how exactly they understand human language. But other than that, we saw the mid tier devils playing around and messing with the low tier devils. And we see Luck goes in and he takes care of all the current mid tier devils with his new ultimate magic. And we have an explanation of the ultimate magic with the Dryad, which is the spirit in the in the elves forest. I forgot where it was located at. Somewhere in the Heart Kingdom. But basically, the Dryad was saying how with ultimate magic, by by using the natural magic, or using and borrowing the natural magic in the area, they can use that magic to perform a higher tier spell, which is ultimate magic. And we see that or we get the assumption that each ultimate magic is different, because when we first saw ultimate magic, we saw Licks, and we saw he basically used like one high tier attack spell. And we see with Luck, with Luck it's different. But it's kind of like the same thing with Luck spell every time. Luck has an equip type spell. So with his ultimate magic, he equips himself as a lightning god. I think it was Raijin. Don't quote me on that. But we see Luck's new transformation, and I think Luck look pretty cool. I hope this ain't the final design. I hope like it changes. Like I like this design, but I like the other design more when he was elf possessed, and we saw the circle on his back with like the lightning jacket. I think that design to me was cooler than the one this is. But I do like the high boots he got on. I just hope he gets like a jacket or something with his ultimate magic form. But we see Luck using new moves and whatnot. Literally speed blitz all the mid tier devils. So we see that with ultimate magic, it can take care of mid tier devils. And then then after that we have knocked almost crucified up because he was trying to fight against the first gate supreme devils. And then we get a look at his past, and his past is really interesting. So basically, when knocked, he came from a noble. I don't think it's royal. I think it's just a noble family called the Foss family. He was a twin, and he was the opposite of his twin, which is Morgan. And they also have different type of magic, where Knock has shadow magic, and Knock, I guess he had, I don't know, did they say what magic he had? But he had the opposite of that. Whatever the opposite of shadow was, he had the opposite of that. And basically, the magic also kind of portrayed their characteristic too. Like with shadow magic, Knock was kind of like on the not really on the dark side, but he was rebellious. Rebellious, cocky, really didn't care about obeying to the rules and whatnot. Which is why he got along with Yami in the beginning of his youth. And we see Morgan was the opposite. He was outgoing, friendly, charismatic, and we see that Morgan actually convinced Yami to join the what should we call Azoridiers, I believe, the squad that Julius had made. And we see, as the years go by in Knott's backstory, we see that Knott was once called by his parents for a discussion or a important meeting they had to take. And Knock thought that he was about to be disowned by his family because he was the black sheep of the family. It seemed like to him he never wanted to, or they never wanted him to be part of the family, until he realized that his family is actually takes in the dark ritual and practices the dark arts of devil binding. And that was a pretty cool secret that the way Tabata revealed it. Like I'm surprised that there was nobles doing this and no one know. And we see that it's like a cult. Like there's multiple people in the in this ritual. So it seemed like that this was like an oncurring thing from generation to generation in the Foss family. I'm surprised that no one and the Clover Kingdom knew about it. Not even Julius. And so we see Nock, over the years performing the ritual, him getting 4 mid-tier devils and binding them. And then we see then he tries to he tried to bind a supreme rank devil with a magic item, which is like basically a bracelet. And then when he summoned the devil, which is Lucifugus, we see that devil was not gonna take that to the binding, and he basically kills everyone except for Morgan, who was secretly hidden within the group in order to stop his family from performing any more rituals, and that caused him to die because he tried to protect Nock. I like how that story went, and I like how Nock kind of had a revelation when his brother died. He was saying that you know my Morgan doesn't deserve this. He was always a kind and good-hearted fellow. If anyone, it should be me. And then we see during then he had a revelation saying that you don't get to act like that. Uh, you don't have the right to ask for a savior when all this time you've been doing nothing but doing your own selfish acts. And I kind of like how Nock did that to himself, where he act like or Nock was basically saying, let's be real here. You really don't have no right to be asking for forgiveness when you never really went out your way to do anything good. Because like only reason why Nock was asking like a way to save his brother is only because his brother was near death. Other than that, like not really didn't care about being around his brother or protecting him because because like from what he's in his eyes, his brother was like, he was good and he can take care of himself. But until that happened, that was the only time he actually, I guess, kind of prayed for a higher entity or being to save him. But Nock was being real to himself, saying that that wasn't going to happen. And so because of that, Nock promised himself that he'll do evil by he will do evil deeds, not really evil deeds, but like he will be in the shadows in order to protect the light, something like that. And so basically he was never going to be like in the spotlight doing good. He would be in the shadows doing whatever it takes to help the good. And so that's why throughout this whole arc, Nock was saying, oh, I'll just sacrifice myself for the greater good and whatnot. That way the good people will survive, and me, Nock, would die as as originally planned and whatnot. And then we see Asa save Nock, and Asa shows off his moves to Nock by fighting against the Supreme Rank Devils. When Asa shows off his moves, we see that Asa basically, it's basically the same thing. Him swinging his sword techniques, but because of his Devil Union, he has a few new tricks. Sort of, kind of. They're kind of the same tricks, but they're amplified to a whole another level. So basically, excuse me. But also, first off, fighting off Lilith and Nama. Lilith and Nama thought that he was just toying with Asta until Asta shows off. Excuse me. His Demon Destroyer sword, his third sword. And then when he fused one of the black orbs with his sword, we see the sword the sword form has changed, and it had upgraded. And also, when Asa grabbed the sword, whichever side of the arm that grabs a sword, its appearance of the armor changed. And I thought that was really cool how Tabata implemented that, because we see that each sword had their own design when it comes to equipping it. Design wise for the sword and for the armor. So when Asa absorbed the black orb to the Demon Destroyer sword, we see that it completely erased all magic within the area. So Lilith and Nama was completely defenseless, and then Asa struck I think Nama down in half. Then after that, Lilith and Nama fused. They became as one, I guess, in their original form. Then they was toying with Asa by evading his attacks, keeping their distance. they was about to destroy the whole Spade Kingdom with a powerful spell. Then we see also use another orb and on his Demon Slayer sword. And we see the sword basically just grew in size as a skyscraper, and he was able to knock the spell back. And I thought that was cool too, how the sword grew in size. And with that, we see Asa pull out his second sword, the Demon Dweller sword. And I don't know, did he also use the orb for that too? I think he might have also used the orb because its form also changed, and also Asa's armor changed as well. When he equipped the second sword. And we see basically it's the same thing, with he used Dark Slash. They're just on a higher scale. But I really do like how each sword he equips, his form changes. His form changes, I guess, a bit drastically. Like with the Demon Slayer, I guess the Demon Slayer is his basic form. He equips the Demon Dweller. He gets like a piece of cloth or clothing around his arm, and we see that he gets like I guess kind of like a knight, like a knight shaped plate on his shoulder and his arm. And we see for the Demon Destroyer, spikes grows on his arm and leg. So I like how each sword changes the design of his armor. And we see after Asa using a combination of his swords, he was able to defeat Lilith and Nama at the nick of time too, because their devil union only lasts for 5 minutes, and it ended in the last seconds. And so then Asta and Lee defeated the first supreme ranked devils. So after the fight with Asta and the Lilith and Nama, he goes to back to Dante and Jack, and we see Dante just completely beating up Jack, just pushing him back and forth, hitting him with gravity magic. And we see Magna and Zora busting in on the fight, and Magna declaring that he's gonna beat Dante by himself. And we see how exactly Magna does that with a I forgot what type of spell he called it. I think he said secret flame magic. But basically, he used a really complicated spell to link up their souls together, to where they both put in both of their magic amount and power into one pool, and then they split that pool in half, and they each get half of each. So basically, they're fighting on equal terms. And I thought that was a really cool concept because of how Magna is. Cause, like we can tell from Magna that he isn't special, or he doesn't have any like, I wouldn't say he's special, but he isn't like destined, or like he doesn't have a lot of talent, I guess. And we can see he's I forgot which magic tier he is, they said, but he's in a tier to where he can't make up runes on the fly. He isn't special like Asta. He isn't like I say, he can't make up runes like luck. But with the help of Zora and Zora's studies on magic itself, he was able to help Magna by discovering that people with a low tier of magic, they can actually do runes. It's just they have to put more effort into making runes. And because of their runes stay longer, so they can make even more complex spells. And I think that that concept itself is a great pathway into making other type of spells. Like the way Tabata had implemented that concept of I don't know what to call it. I guess low tier runes. Like that concept itself, I think is just cool. And that just shows how low tier mages can even the playing field against high tier mages. And so we see Magna and Dante duking it out. kind of like boxing, and Magna wins it in the end. And I was really happy that Magna wins because I feel like he deserved it because like I don't know, it seemed like Magna was getting left behind real fast, real quick, especially with the fight against Dante and Dante versus Asa and Yami. But I'm glad to see that Magna still has some opportunities to still join in on the fight. Then after that, we see that Dante was still alive, but barely, and then we see that Jack finished him off. So I find it funny because like Jack was the one to start the battle with Dante, and Jack finished him off in the end. But in actuality, the Magna was the one that did defeated Dante. It's just that Jack had ended the fight. Magna beat Dante, and Jack had defeated, or Jack had ended Dante. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Excuse me. And after that, we go to the next fight between Noel appearing in the battle of Charlotte and Real versus Vanica, with also Gaja there too. And we see in the first half of the fight, we see that Noel was completely beating up Vanica with her new form Saint Stage. Which I don't know, I find it crazy how Noel achieved Saint Stage before did. But I do like the new form of it, and I like how she looks like a Valkyrie goddess and whatnot. But only thing I don't like is the fact that she swapped out her lance for a sword. I guess in that situation it was more appropriate. Like I hope it's not permanent because like I like how each and every character have their own little weapon that suits them. Asa has his swords. Has a variety of weapons. He has a sword, bow, polearm, or halberd. And with Noelle, it seemed like she was going to use a lance, but I guess she can also use a sword as well. In which I don't even know if she even knows like sword play techniques. But that's either way. That's neither here or there. But either way, Noelle beats Ivonica in the first half. As soon as she was about to beat her, Mikikula emerges. And you see Mikikula one third form, to where basically she explained how she's able to manifest because she made three I want to say contracts. I guess you can say contracts. She made 3 contracts to where she need 3 female mages of like the same power tier to sacrifice their souls for Mikikula to where she can emerge to the human world free of charge. I guess without the gate. And so I kind of like that. I kind of like how there's another way for devils to actually emerge into the human world other than the order way with the tree of Quilfloth. So that was pretty cool too. And we also saw the past of Aesir defending her kids against Vanica and Mikikula, and how Mikikula set the first but then I contract curse. The first curse on Aesir, which was part 1. Then part 1 I guess was Vanica. She already had Vanica, so that's 1/3. Then she had Aesir, which was 2/3. And after Mikikula emerges, everything went south for Noelle Group. Charlotte and Real was defeated because of her curse magic. Noelle couldn't utilize her Saint Stage. I think it was that, and also because she ran out of time. And also, whatchamacallit? Laura Peshica. Oh, I forgot. Laura Peshica was also there in the fight with Vanica. She was cursed as a puppet too. But whatchamacallit? Even after that, after Mikikula emerged, she cursed Laura Peshica to where she cursed her into being a devil with the horns, the wings, the whole full set. And I thought that was pretty neat. Like I didn't know I didn't know that she could actually do that. But yeah, even after that, as things was going south, we saw Gaja trying to protect Laura Petrica, even though she was cursed. And we see Gaja had tried to defeat Mickey Kula by activating his ultimate spell and spending his all his life resources, and it ended up in nothing because Mickey Kula planted a spell on herself to where did she? I don't know. She did plant a spell on herself to recover instantly, but either way, she wasn't defeated. So even after all that, as things was going south, Mickey Kula was about to kill Laura Petrica by having her self-destruct, which should be her last plan or her last part because she already has Aesir, she has Vanica, or she needs Laura Petrica. Then Asa came in and saved her. That gave Noelle motivation, and then Asa, kind of saved things. We saw the Clover gang started to get back on their feet, and with that, odds started to turn on their favor. We see Real activate a new spell, which is it's like a huge buff spell. It buffs up the allied mages, increasing their attack and defense, making them I wouldn't say they are immune to damage, but let's just say they don't take any damage until they don't get affected by any damages, but it accumulates after the spell ends, I guess. And I guess it could also save people on the verge of death. Cause it also saved Gaja, and he was near death. And like that whole interaction battle with Mickey Kula using the Dark Disciples puppets against the Noelle and her group. I thought that whole interaction was cool and neat because Mickey Kula has two different souls. Vanica and Aesir, she can also use her magic. So I think that concept was pretty cool because she can use steel magic and blood magic, and she was making all types of enemies for them to fight off against. And then we have the Clover gang fighting off with their own way. We had Luck and Gaja going off. We had Real being buffed. We had Charlotte also debuffing the enemies too. I thought that whole interaction was crazy. I think that whole fight is gonna go crazy if it gets animated properly. But other than that, we have Noelle going back to Saint Stage trying to deliver the final blow, but she is stopped until Nozel arrives and actually helps out. And we see Nozel backstory or his part of the backstory to where how he knew about the curse, and because he was cursed, he couldn't let anyone else know, or else they would also get cursed. And how he had to live with this all the way up to now. I think that was like a whole decade because I think he was 14. He's like what, 28, or are they in their 30s? Well, either way, let's just say he had to live with this knowing for a long time, and this gave him a great relief after finding Mickey Kula. And then after assisting Noelle with Mickey Kula, Noelle finally defeats her, and Mickey Kula kind of ended off of a sign off saying, this is how humans are and how they achieve things with their emotions. And she said something like, I forget what she said. She said something like, I'll put that in my notes and next time I come back, or something like that. Like, I don't think she said next time she come back, but it seems like she's gonna come back, and I hope she does. Cause A, we didn't get to see Mickey Kula's full potential, and B, she stated that she was only using this plan to take 3 souls to manifest as an insurance. So basically, I'm thinking that if Plan B didn't work, then she still has Plan A, to where her original body is still in the demon world. Like, I think the heart they killed was just a part of her. Or at least I hope so, because I really do hope Mickey Kula comes back, because I think Mickey Kula was a really cool character. For a villain, I think she was a cool character in this art. Way better of a villain than Dante basic villain ideas and Vonica. Way better than them. And I guess you could say way better than Lucifero too, but I'll get into that later. So after after Noel's fight, we finally get the last fight of the Dark Triad, which is and Langris versus Xenon, 100%. And we see again has another plan to defeat Xenon by activating Euros. I think with Euros, it's different. Euros is a bow and arrow, but it's like in terms of types, I don't know. It's weird because it's like Zephyr. I guess you could say is more of a basic all rounder type. I guess Boreas seems to be more on the offensive, and Euros is like just a one and done type move. I guess you could say it's like a spirit bomb, but instead of a huge attack, it's just a precise precision missile, kind of like Soifan's Bankai. So yeah, I guess that's how it is with different types of spirit forms. But before I get more into that, I forgot to mention that after all of that, with Noel's fight, everyone thought that Charlotte and Red was about to die, and especially Gaja, because he was in no state to survive. But with the help of Mimosa and her ultimate spell, she was able to help all of them. And this is where it got really controversial with the fan base. Me personally, it makes sense. It's just that it makes sense story wise. It's just that it's not a good look. Let me say that. Like story wise, it makes sense because ultimate magic. Story wise, it's like Tabata kind of teased us, and he kind of does this a bit later on in the story too. But it's like he teased it because it's in a way where he wanted us to believe that he was going to kill him off, but then he was like, you know what? Nah, I'm not. Because if he would have killed Gaja off, then he should have done it. He shouldn't have teased us like that, to where Gaja basically stated he expended his own life force. Then Gaja death was halted by Real's ultimate magic. And that where the teasing kind of started. The teasing started to when Real stopped him from dying. And it was like, okay, even though Real, got him up on his feet, he's still gonna die because Real can't revive people. Or Real can't, revive people back to full health, back in the normal state. And then we see Gaja was finally about to die, and then we see Mimosa come in and heals all their injuries. Like I said, me personally, I don't care. It's not really that much of a big deal for me, but I can see where people stand to where they didn't like it, because like I said, it looked like Tabata teases us in the wrong way. To where he's just yanking our chain. It's like, oh, I'm gonna make it out like they're dead, and then I'm gonna tease that they're not dead by having Real, I guess, reviving him, and then having Mimosa heal him completely. But like I said, it is what it is. Some people are against it. Some people are with it. I digress. But back on to the fight. We have a little bit of a Langris screen time, where Langris shows that he's been trading and he can actually use Mana Zone. And I like the Mana Zone. It's pretty cool. It's basically just a shield of space magic, and that's pretty neat. And just like what Xenon said, if Xenon wasn't here, Langris would have probably been the strongest Spade mage. And I'm pretty sure that is 100% fact, because I don't believe Fenrir's going to compete against that. I mean, I don't know what Fenrir has. Maybe he has something up his sleeve, but I don't know. But even after all that, Langris still was getting beat by Xenon until finally finished the preparations and hit Xenon with his Euro spell. So after Xenon takes a lethal blow with the spirit of Euros, we get a backstory of Xenon, and I really like this backstory. This backstory had like boosted Xenon's character up in terms of villains from like I mean it boosted it up, but it didn't change the place. Like I think I already liked Xenon just because of the fact that he wasn't like his other siblings. Like Dante, Dante was all about himself. Bonica just wanted to have fun. Xenon was a laid back type of character. I should didn't think that out of the three of them, we would get his perspective of their backstory. But I did like it though, because it showed how Xenon character changed at a certain point. Because in the backstory, we see whatchamacall, we see how Xenon he was being bullied for his magic, having bone magic, and then we see that someone became his friend named Alan. And the parallel was basically with I was saying, but only the fact is that Xenon wasn't a crybaby, so that's one thing. That's one good thing about Xenon. One for Xenon, zero for But I digress. Either way, you see that because of Alan, Alan gave Xenon the inspiration to become the leader of the. It's a long name. I forgot what it's called. Leader or commander of the Spade Kingdom military force. It's a long name. It's way longer than Wizard King. But either way, that was their motivation and inspiration. So they trained like crazy every day. Then they became part of the military force. Then even after all of that, they were still doing missions. They were really close friends. But before that, when Xenon was still being bullied before he met Alan, I guess he would talk to his siblings, and like his siblings, man, his siblings wasn't they weren't shit, bro. Like Dante and Bonnie was talking bad about him, like, oh, how can someone weak as you can be my little brother if you getting beat up? And then Vonica also saying something too. Only person that was kind to him was the eldest brother, who was in a wheelchair and whose face was also unknown at that time. And he surprisingly, I don't know how old he was, but he already had a plan set out to where they would become devil hosts. Like it's kind of weird because I'll get into it in the end of the review, but it's kind of weird how he already had the plan set out. It's like I don't know, it's weird. Like it's like his character in the family itself is weird because like you don't see any parents. But like I said, I'm gonna discuss that a bit more in the review. But we see how he was gonna set his siblings up to become double hosts, all four of them. But during his time in the Spade Kingdom Force and fighting with Alan, he went to his eldest brother and told him like, "Hey, I decided I'm not gonna become a double host. I just don't feel that way anymore." And then he was okay with it. Uh, at first glance, I guess, you know, but we know he had deeper intentions or hidden intentions. And so coincidentally, after he told him he wasn't going to be a double host, Alan and Xenon and their group was tasked to head up to a magic dungeon that just appeared. And what do you know? There was a devil in that dungeon. And with that devil inside the dungeon, no one could actually take care of it because it was too powerful. Only person was Xenon, but in order for Xenon to take care of it, he had to have a chance of a surprise attack to catch a demon off guard, so he can hit it with a lethal attack. But and only for that to happen, he had to sacrifice his close friend Alan. And after he executed the attack, he successfully defeated the devil, but he lost his friend in the progress. And I find it really sad because you can tell that Xenon, he really didn't want to do it. And also it was kind of messed up because Xenon looked at that option as his only option, while Alan felt like that they can still fight it through sheer grit and strength. and that goes to show just how much Alan really resembles Asa a lot. But we see it with Xenon. Xenon thought that it couldn't be possible. Just fighting it out, duking it out with sheer determination and willpower. And so Xenon decided to do Plan B in order to stop the devil. Because in Xenon was looking at a bigger perspective. He said, if we were to let this demon go, if all of us were to die, the devil wouldn't be stopped. At that moment, the devil will go to the closest Spade Kingdom town and kill them off, and it probably will keep killing a bit more people, and then it'll get caught by like the rest of the Spade forces. And so with then Xenon had a Xenon whole demeanor change. Well, not his whole demeanor. Like Xenon always had that cool and collected personality. Like it's just that when he sacrificed his best friend, he kind of his soul, I guess his soul demeanor changed, like his actual intention. Because at first he wanted to protect the kingdom by becoming the Spade commander, and then after killing Alan, he still wanted the same thing, but he was going to get it for with a different means of power. So that's when he came back to his brother and decided to become a double host. And I'm gonna go back to that topic again after the end of the battle, because at the end of the battle, Xenon was asking, what's the difference between you and me? And but I'm gonna go back to that topic, but I'm gonna continue on. So after all of that, after Xenon had his flashback, he made another contract with Beelzebub, saying, "Hey, let's make a contract. How about you make me a double, and I will give you my entire being." And like, I didn't even know that could. I didn't even know he even had the option to even make contracts like that. But that was a really cool thing, because like it goes back to what Asa did. Asa made a contract with his double, sacrificed his arm. Xenon sacrificed his whole body to become a double. So that was a really cool thing. So after Xenon become a devil, he has a whole new transformation. And I think Tabata was paying homage a little bit to Ukuyora, because you see the hole. There's a hole in Xenon's chest that was caused by the attack by a spirit of Euros. And after Xenon made the contract with Beelzebub to become a devil, while Xenon was transformed into a devil, he still had a hole in his chest. Like, the hole isn't permanent. The hole was being healed up, but there was a panel to where he had that hole in his chest, and he was like in devil form. And it seemed like he was kind of like paying homage to like the to the Vassal Lords, like Ukuyora, because Ukuyora has a hole in his chest right in the center of his what's we call rib cage. So I felt like he was kind of paying homage to that. I thought that was pretty cool. But other than that, Xenon, got his second win. He started clapping up, and Langers. And while he was clapping up Langers, Finral joined in, because Finral wanted his get back after what he did to Yami. Sadly, they didn't go anywhere with that, even with their Spatial Brothers combination teamwork. They got crushed. And then we see on the ground defeated. He was like, "Was the path that I made was right?" Excuse me. It was kind of like, was having second thoughts, or he was kind of going, kind of like, regretting his decision in life and whatnot. And we see after, getting his resolve back again, while he was getting up, with his resolve, we see that a surprising revelation occurred. Yuno's wind magic is technically not his wind magic. And it makes so much sense how Tabata has set this up. Because in the beginning of the Spade invasion arc in the second half, where the Clover Kingdom invaded the Spade Kingdom, after Meliona was fighting the devil, someone told the commander of the Spade Resistance that Ralph, what's his name, Ralph told the Spade Kingdom Spade resistant commander saying that it's here too with his wind magic, and then the commander said, "Oh, I see." And so that goes to show that they were foreshadowing something, and the foreshadow was that Yuno's true inherent magic is star magic, and it's crazy because Tabata explained it like this. So supposedly, if I got this right, when Yuno was born, Yuno was not only the reincarnation of Lick and Tetia's son, but he actually had another soul in him. Like he just wasn't a reincarnation. He literally had the soul of Lit and Tetia first twin in his soul. Like I don't, me personally, theory wise, I felt like he only had the soul. Like I felt like he was a reincarnation already, but I feel like the reason he had the soul was because of the the magic amulet around his neck. I don't know. Like, wait, let me think. Cause was that amulet connected at all to Lick's family? I don't know. Maybe the amulet has nothing to do with it, but I just find it crazy how out of all the people, that the soul could, I guess, theoretically pick, he picked in that generation. It's like, was his soul was just picking other people in each generation? Because like the first twin died like 500 years ago. It's like, what was his soul doing during then? Was he just up at heaven? You looking at his candidates which to pick? I don't know. I don't know. It's weird, but I kind of like that concept because like it makes sense how Yuno's magic wasn't really wind magic because acquired a Clover grimoire, and it's from the Spade Kingdom. So acquired his own grimoire, the Spade grimoire, and it fully give him access to his star magic. Now, as to why he didn't use star magic before, because we can see people can use magic without obtaining a grimoire. I guess because star magic is unique. Because we see here that star magic, excuse me, like I don't know, like does it require a actual grimoire spell to summon a star? I guess so, because with wind magic you can just conjure up wind. With star magic, I don't know, you can just conjure up a star because we see that he can only make a limited number of stars. But I'm going off on something not important. Either way, has two grimoires. He then fights Xenon for their last rematch. And then we see not only their powers colliding, but their ideals and thoughts too. Cause they're both saying that no, you're the one that's wrong, I'm the one that's right. And I like how Tabata did that with their ideas clashing each other. During the Xenon and Yuno fight, the last rematch, we see that Xenon had a brief flashback to what his eldest brother was saying, that the eldest brother was basically telling their plan, saying that I have a plan to where I want to have everyone have undying bodies, to where no one would have to feel pain, no one would have to feel grief, because no one would have to die. Me personally, I kind of like that concept because it shows that there's a character that has a actual belief or actual goal in mind. Kind of remind me of Yuha Bach, how Yuha, he wanted to I forgot what it was. I think he wanted to destroy the concept of death to where no one would have to fear death. But that's something totally different, entirely different. I was just saying how it kind of resembles that. But either way, Xenon had was told about that plan and he ran with it. He ran with like, yeah, we should do that. We should kill anyone who isn't worth living in this current harsh world, and then revive them with undying bodies. So Xenon had that belief that if this plan goes well, no matter how many people die, If we can get through this plan, we can bring everyone back with undying bodies. So I like how Xenon had that concept where Xenon was, don't get it wrong, Xenon was a bad, he was an evil character, killing people, but he had he believed what he was doing was for the good of the Spade Kingdom. So in his eyes, he believed his intention was good for the greater good of the world. Granted, I don't know how Dante set it off devils in the world, creating chaos is good, but either way, Xenon had different intentions. He had the same intention with his eldest brother. But then as they were fighting, the fight was really spectacular to me, with how they were showing off new moves. Well, yeah, new moves, because we see has spells already implanted in his grimoire to help defeat Xenon. He had 3 different spells. One was conjunction, other one was a stell, and there was another one with a shield. I forgot what it was called. But he had a lot of spells. He had a star whip, which is pretty cool. Xenon also had new spells where he combined his magic. He created he had bones sticking out from portals that he made in random locations. He created the blade of Zangief, which I thought was a really cool blade. Like, bro, like if Black Clover anime comes back, I hope they do that. I hope they do all the fights justice, bro. Because these fights would go crazy. These fights would go absolutely insane in these in the animation adaptation. But yeah, as they was fighting, Xenon thought he finally had the upper hand because he destroyed all of stars. And with the last star destroyed, they had a power clash with his Zangief blade and the whatchamacallit, and the spirit of Boreas halberd. So then Xenon thought he had him until coincidentally, supposedly the stronger the mage, the more stars they have. So had another star, and he caught Xenon lacking. And then at the end of the fight, we see Xenon, trying to have a brief talk with because Xenon got his heart cut, devil's heart cut, so he's about to die. Also, I've got to mention, had achieved Saint stage because was in the in his previous fights has been in many life or death situations in Spirit Dive, and so because of this, he finally achieves Saint stage. So was just trying to converse with saying what made what is it that you and I are so different of, or basically what makes you and me so different. And couldn't come up with an answer to help Xenon's question, because like still trying to figure out his own situation. Still trying to become the Wizard King and whatnot. And I believe what made them so different is because Xenon didn't have faith in his rival. Has faith in his rival to where no matter what, if he believed in his rival, if he believed in his rival, and if his rival believed in him, they'll find a way to overcome it. Now, I know most of the situations that they achieve were kind of coincidental. Of Asa gaining the demon dweller coincidentally during the fight with Mars, or achieving the not achieving, but activating the L spirit with Xenon and Alan. I don't think they was that lucky. That's what made them that different, because they were in different situations. Like Xenon wasn't that blessed to have a spirit. Alan wasn't that blessed to have anti magic. Alan had a basic magic type. He had flame magic. Granted, he can make flame swords, but it's not like he could do anything spectacular. Like maybe he had mana zone. I don't know. Maybe he had ultimate magic. But I feel like in the end, what it comes down to is that Xenon didn't have belief in his rival. Xenon believed that Alan was not going to beat the devil, and so he had to think of another way in order to stop the devil, and that only way was using Alan as a distraction. So was the undefeated. That was the last and final Dark Triad, which should mean that Not Plan had succeeded in stopping the ritual, which wasn't the case because Morris had developed a way to be a advocate, not an advocate, or channel, or a way to channel his own life force to keep the Tree of Qliphoth running. So I think in that aspect, Morris was a good villain in that he surprised everyone. Well, first being a double host, and second finding another way to continue the Tree of Qliphoth. So I think in terms of that, I think Morris was a good villain. It's just that he went up against a group of people too soon, or too unfortunately, because when Morris was the double host, he already fought against Dorothy. Dorothy couldn't do nothing, and he already defeated Lotus. And basically, because Dorothy couldn't do nothing, because Morris could actually mess with concepts. So because of that, Dorothy was rendered useless. Also, it was revealed that Morris is the double host, or Lucifer. Yeah, Morris is the double host for Lucifer. So with that, while Morris was accelerating the Tree of Qliphoth, he had the Black Bull showed up and saved Yami. I really don't want to talk a lot about this part because it's basically simple. Yami was reflecting against his past, seeing how he was treated. He was treated as an outsider because technically he was. He was treated differently because of his magic. And he made some friends along the way with Knot, Morgan, whatchamacall, Zell and whatnot. But after Morgan died, he made a promise to make a group to where anyone and everyone who is treated different can join his group, which is why he has to abandon Misfits. So I thought that was pretty cool. After the Morris fight, nothing really happened. Morris got beat up by the Black Clover gang. So yeah, unfortunate for him. I can see why people really put a lot of hope in him because he kind of acted like an Aizen. I want to say, he was kind of like an Aizen in terms of plans and tricks. In terms of actual physical capability, he was nowhere near Aizen. Basically because he don't get me wrong, he had good magic. He was a double host. It's just the fact that he went up against just a diverse and hacked group of people. I don't think anyone would be able to stop it. Like I say, saying if Xenon was to go against the Black Clover gang and he were to lose, he would be a bad character. I don't think he would be a bad character. It's just that he went up against a group of people in which he was completely incompatible in defeating. I think that goes with anyone. That's like the same conversation saying that if Xenon was to go instead of Dante, then Xenon would have lost. Because Xenon, like, let's be fair, I don't think Xenon would be able to do anything against anti-magic. You feel me? I feel like that's why Morris lost. Morris had way too many factors against him. Anti-magic, he has curse magic, which I forgot to mention. Gordon found out a way to use Henry curse magic for him, benefiting him, to where he can now absorb magic whoever mage he choose. So Morris had to go against anti-magic. He had to go against curse magic. He had to go against thread magic, which he could have intercept, but he couldn't because of Gray's damn, what the hell was it called? It wasn't transformation. It was something else. Transportation of Gray's magic. They had Charming magic, was refills their magic. Then they had Who else? I think that's it. Instead of factors against him, all the other Clover game was there, but it's like he had way too many people that he just couldn't counter. You feel me? So in that aspect, I don't think Moritz was a bad character. I just think he just got dealt with a bad hand. So yeah, maybe he might come back in the end. I don't know. I mean, I think his character done for. Unfortunately, I think that's the end of his character. Unfortunately, but after all of that, Clover gang defeated Morris, and they tried to rescue Yami. But Lucifero got fed up, and he was like, "Screw it! I'm gonna just go ahead and start manifesting right now." And so he used all the second gate devils, to start manifesting his form. Excuse me. And with that became a high scale battle between Dante. I keep saying Dante, not Dante. Lucifero and the Spade Kingdom citizens and the Black Clover gang and the Clover Kingdom warriors. And so while they was doing that, well, before that, Merliona had defeated the ancient devil by herself because the more she's in that spell, the stronger her power gets. I just think that was really cool to add because like that's just so awesome. Merliona gets stronger the more she's in that spell. That was crazy, and her appearance changes as well. But other than that, Luciferos try to start emerging by manifesting. The Black Bulls fight against them with the Black Bull Megazord. Then they all put their faith in Asta. Asta finally uses his katana and activate Double Union, which we all wanted to see. And let me tell you, it lived up to the hype because we seen how Asta looked with the Devil Demon Dweller, Demon Destroyer, now the Demon Slasher. I think the Demon Slasher is my favorite form. He looks so cool with a cloak. And we see Asta use Equinox, and I like how he explained it. He like it's a blade where it cuts whoever I want it to cut. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. Cause it's like, can he control the anti magic at that distance? Like what I'm trying to figure out is if he were to use Black Slash, the Black anti magic slash, it launches from his sword. Is he able to manipulate that Black Slash? Like, can he move it around? I don't know. But it's like, if he can move it around, then does that mean that he can deactivate it to where it won't hurt an ally? I don't know. It's weird. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. But either way, I like the concept. I like the idea. And so with that, Lucifero was cut in half. His manifestation form was cut in half. And one half was left unattended for. The other half was destroyed by Uno's Spirit of Euros because it was about to fall on the Spade Kingdom citizens. I'm just trying to figure out if one half of Lucifer's body was unattended for, and Uno destroyed the other half. What did they thought was going to happen? I don't know, but as things was near around the end, they thought that everything was all well and good. They could start building a better kingdom with here until the second gate Supreme Devil arrived, which is later to be confirmed by Dremlet. He starts giving them a warning like, hey, what are you doing just lounging around? Don't you know the fight had just begun? And we see the other half that was left unattended in Lucifero. He started manifesting his true form. And I gotta say, his design was really cool. Cause it seemed weird. But I think the reason why he had those wrinkles was because he was only half manifested. And he manifested in that way to where he basically grouped up and fused a bunch of doubles together. So I believe that's why he was looking kind of grotesque. So with Lucifero completely emerging, half manifested, he starts showing off his power by forcing everyone on the ground. You see Asa, and he completely beats Asa, even in Asa Devil Union. Because we see, even though Asa can completely erase magic, because Lucifero has so much magic, it does nothing to him. Lucifero has that much magic half manifested. So Asa gets beat down. Then the Magic Knight appears. They start showing up, or the Magic Knight captains appear. They get beat up too. They put up a pretty good fight. Uh, in terms of like trying to distract him from not getting Asta. And we see after the Magic Knight captains was defeated, we see Yuno comes up. Yuno trying to fare against Lucifero. In terms of keeping up with him, he can keep up with Lucifero. He just can't cut him. Because, excuse me, Lucifero, like magic, is just that much strong. And we see also Merliona in the fight too, by herself. She not being helped up by Real like the others were. Like Mariana is actually keeping up with Lucifero. And I forgot to mention, Yuno's keeping up with Lucifero because of his star magic is interfering with the gravity. But during that fight, Mimosa tried to heal Asa because Asa got beat up pretty bad. And I don't know about everyone else, but I think this was kind of my favorite part. Where that chapter with Seke, I think that was kind of low key one of my favorite chapters. I want to say my fourth or fifth favorite chapter in this arc, because how it started off with and Lucifero duking it out, and then in the middle we see Seke, he was literally in the heat of the battle, but he was just what should we call a bystander, and so he got teleported back somewhat into safety where Mimosa was. And then we see Mimosa trying to heal Asa, but Mimosa doesn't have any magic because he wastes. I wouldn't say she wasted. She used it all on the anti magic, on the ultimate magic of the Gauche and whatnot. So she couldn't even heal Asa all the way, only just a little bit. And so we see Seke, Seke being Seke trying to ask the girl out and whatnot, even in this situation. And then because Seke trying to make Leia the move, because this could be the end of the world for them. And so we see Seke looking at Asta, because Asta gets back up. He goes back trying to get into the fight. And we see Seke, trying to figure out why is this man risking his life so much? Trying to fight a monster that nobody else could beat. And so we get Seke past. Seke, in his past, we see that he had a relatively good life. He was kind of, I won't say he was praised, but he was a really good he was I guess an upstanding magic warrior. People had high hopes for him. And so he himself thought, I'm gonna head to the Clover Kingdom. I'm gonna become a Magic Knight. I'm gonna pick the best squad, and I'm gonna do all this. And then we see he met Asta, who defeated him. He kind of lost his motivation. Seki lost his motivation because after he was defeated, he didn't get into the best squad. He was put in the praying mantis. His whatchamacall, his bravado that he came in because he thought he was the one to achieve it all. It stopped as soon as he got beat by Asta. The missions he go to, he didn't really like the mission because they didn't really give him anything. He got a little bit of a clout because of helping out the Wizard King and whatnot, but throughout his whole life in the Magic Knight Squad, he kind of wasted his potential on just screwing around. And so I really did like how Seki comes to that realization that he wasted all his time as a Magic Knight doing nothing that a Magic Knight should actually be doing, while Asa was being what a true Magic Knight is, which is doing missions the best to your ability, going out training, and all that stuff. And like Seke was just disappointed in himself because he started crying and saying like, "Damn, why didn't I at least try to get stronger?" It's like I guess you can say it's like relatively if you're in high school. And like you just mess it around, like, oh, I'm gonna pass these tests, I'm gonna just get lucky on it and whatnot. And then you see someone who's trying hard, they studying every day and whatnot. and then the test results come in, or no, it's like before the test results come in, y'all complete the test, and then now you're having bad thoughts. You're thinking like, damn, I don't think I'm gonna make it. And then like you see this guy trying it every day and whatnot, and then it's like the person asked him like, damn, if only I started studying like you did, maybe I would have if I would have made the effort, I would at least gotten a better grade. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like Seki just wasted all his time doing nothing, and now when the chance comes to actually do something, he can't do nothing about it because he didn't prepare for this at all. So I really did like how Tabata set that up. How Seki becomes self conscious that he's completely useless in this series, and so he just actually start doing something, being more productive. So after that Seki realization, we go to Asa in the fight was Lucifero, and we see Noct. I've got to mention, Noct do these double fusions, which is the best thing in my opinion. First, it was the chicken and the cat. I thought that was a really cool transformation with him against Lulifanama. He's now doing another one with against Lucifero with the bull and the dog. I forgot what form we call it, but it was a cool transformation. He summoned these big hellhounds from the shadows and whatnot. It doesn't do nothing because Lucifero actually destroys it. And so Lucifer was about to kill Noct. Noct was like, okay, I'm gonna just accept my life. This is how I wanted to end. I wanted to die anyways. And we see Yami comes in with a new sword, rescuing Noct. And we see after that, we see Yami get a flashback of his past again. Honestly, we kind of had like a couple of flashbacks of Yami that I don't even remember what happened with this flashback. I can't remember this for the one where he was talking to Noct about setting up a group or whatnot. I forgot. But either way, I kind of like the little conversation he had with William, because William expended all of his life magic, not life magic, but his magic energy into making a sword for Yami, specifically to replace his katana that he originally had. And as I said before, I like the conversation that they had between as William was giving Yami the katana, saying that Yami said, "I really don't like you. I don't like how you did us back in the Clover Kingdom with the elves. But if we get out of this alive, I wanna have a toast or have a drink and hang out." And then with that, we go back to Yami saving Noct. Then we see Noct, and we see Yami talking to Noct about their past and whatnot. And then they make up because basically Noct didn't want to be around Yami because he didn't want to. He felt like he didn't have the right to after Noct led Morgan's death, and he knew that Morgan and Yami was good friends. But Yami, Yami really didn't care about that, about him, about not feeling like he should be away from Yami, because Yami think that that's the wrong thing to do and whatnot. And so they get back together and whatnot, and they form up. And I gotta say, their teamwork is like the best type of teamwork ever. It's like I want to say it's better than Asa and But Asa, they got their own little combination. They got some good teamwork coordination, but it's like Asa, so Yami and Noct. It's kind of like how like if you like at a cookout and like you have you and your friend and y'all kids, y'all just doing something, and then like your uncle comes in and he's like, let me show you this, let me show you how we used to do it back in our day, and he gives his friend and whatnot. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like us and are like the new generation of kids, and Yami and Noct is like the old generation, and they show them how they did it back in the day. And I gotta say, their teamwork I think is better, just because their synergies is more correlated to each other. Because as they said in the manga, Shadow creates dark. I believe that's how it went. Shadow creates dark, or Shadow produces dark, and dark helps produce more shadow. Either way, it was like a perfect synergy. And so because of that, they was doing a lot of good combo moves. Now activated his another fusion with the cat and the dog, Phyllis and the Canis. I think that's one of my favorite forms. And then we have Yami because of his boosted up power from being a catalyst for the Tree of Kofoth. He's able to do stronger spells and whatnot. And so they actually land a hit on Lucifero. And Lucifero had actually started admitting that, hey, these people can actually kill me because they already cut my horn off. They already started wounding me. I think it's time to admit that I need to go 100% on my half form. So he does exactly that. And so it's a final battle between Lucifero versus Yami and Nog and Asta and Yuto. I think that's like the perfect teamwork right there. It's kind of like a raid battle boss. And so then they start fighting out. Lucifer shows off some new moves. He doesn't really show off a lot of he doesn't show off any spells. He just shows off some moves. Like we get it. This man is good at hand to hand combat. We see this man, giving off hands to everybody and whatnot. We see a couple of new techniques where he can use gravity to crush people limbs, like he did with Nog and Yami. And then, near the end of the fight, we see them just completely losing because, Lucifero is, manhandling all of them. Lucifero beats he beats Nog first, he beats Yami, then he beats, or he beats Asa, then he beats, And with all of them falling, all of them had a plan to set up, or had a plan to set up where he would have Yami try to defeat Lucifero because had faith in William's sword. And now that I think about it, I wonder if it's kind of like the same decision that Xenon made with Alan, because we see how made a decision where he didn't have enough faith in Asa to believe that Asa was going to win, so he had faith in Yami because Yami had a sword that William made for him. So I wonder if that goes back to having faith, with Xenon having faith in his plan rather than Alan, to where have faith in William's decision giving Yami the sword instead of Asta. I wonder if it goes back to that. But either way, we see that made the decision to help out Yami. Yami and Not teleports because Not use a spell called Doppelganger, but they both, I guess, Not can copy the same spell that Yami has. But it ended horribly because Lucifero grew 2 arms from his back and what's the word I'm looking for? Impaled both of them in the chest. So with everyone basically losing, as Lucifero was about to beat or kill Asta, we see Asta goes in his own world, seeing Lieb crying, regretting him ever meeting Lasita because of him, Lasita being dead. We see Asa seeing the memories of Lieb and whatnot, and we see that Asa, in the beginning of the Devil Union, in the process of the fight, or the series, or not the series, of the arc, we see that Asa really didn't understand why Lieb wanted to kill the devil so bad. He just knew that he had a strong emotion for it. Now that we see why Lieb wants to defeat the devils, Asa has a better understanding of Lieb's character. Because Lieb had an understanding of Asa's character because Lieb was there for Asa. Asa wasn't there for Lieb. So after we see that, we see now that they have a better understanding, which helps them go into their complete devil union. And the only difference between their complete devil union and their other devil union is that they grew a extra horn, which now they have 5 horns. And I believe their eyes are the same thing. I think so. I can't remember. I believe their eyes were glowing a different color. But they have 5 horns, and I believe their eyes were glowing a different color. And it's interesting because as of right now, Asa is the only character to achieve 5 horns. Lucifero doesn't have 5 horns. Lucifero only has 4 horns. Technically 3 if you count one was cut off by Asa. But Lucifer only has 3 horns, 4 horns technically. But now he has 3 eyes because Lucifer went all out, half manifested. I wonder will Asa grow a third eye as well. If so, that would be cool. I mean, it'll be funny because I know Asa gonna make a he gonna make a gimmick to where he gonna be like, oh wow, I got another eye and whatnot. But other than that, it'd be cool if Asa gets a third eye too. That'd be pretty neat. But we see in complete double union, Asa is impervious to all types of magic. It doesn't matter what type of magic it is. He is invulnerable to all types. To where the moment you touch him, your magic power completely shuts off. It's like a power outage. So, Lucifero is dealing these punches, and it ain't doing nothing because, Asa's physically built. The attack physically is not gonna hurt him, and the attack magically has been shut off soon as it touches him. And so Asa really just like goes off on Lucifero, and he beats him in 5 seconds. But like during that time, we see a flashback of Lucida telling Lieb that, oh hey, I know that I'm never gonna meet my son ever in my life after I left him in the church, but I wanted to know that I would always love him. So that was a pretty nice, touching thing subject to add. But like the way Asa defeat Lucifero, it was pretty cool because like in the last seconds we see Asa double union coming off of him slowly but surely, but we see that he took his time by cutting Lucifero in like 4 different parts. I think he cut him. I think the first cut was no, okay, I see. He cut off his arm. Then I think he cut him. I think he cut off his arm to cut another piece. Then he cut him vertically, then diagonally, if I remember correctly. And like that was so cool how Tabata do the panel, like bro, like I think that's one of my favorite panels. How panel by panel, page by page, we see Asa just cutting him up one slice at a time. I think that's my favorite panel. Like my favorite chapter was the Seke one with Asa, but I think my favorite panel was Asa cutting Lucifero up. And if we see during the whole complete double union, we see that now that Asa and Lieb has a full understanding of each other, now they're not killing Lucifero because they want to kill him for revenge. They want to kill Lucifero because they they want to prove to Lucifero that they're going to live. That whatever plan you have is going to foil because we're going to stop it. They're not killing Lucifero off of revenge. They're killing him just because they want to oppose his plans. That's how I took it. Cause I took it because like Lee wanted revenge. Asa didn't know why he wanted revenge. Now that they figure it out, after they fuse together, I think they come to a compromise to where instead of going out for revenge, let's just go out to stop his plans. So that's how I took it. But yeah, with that, Lucifero has a second win. He tried to stop them and try to leave because he couldn't beat Asta, so he was gonna try to leave. And I've got to mention at one point he tried to ask Adrenaline for help. Adrenaline didn't help, which was kind of interesting, seeing how devils, despite Lucifero being the strongest devil, he commands someone to help him and he doesn't get the help. So that was interesting. And we see, despite Lucifero trying to run away, because of the other Magic Knights still there, Yami, Nog, and they was able to successfully defeat Lucifero with the help of Asta. And then at the end, Adremelec, he sees the fight. He was really impressed. And then only thing Adremelec did is he grabbed Lucifero's heart and ran with it. And I think that was interesting how he grabbed the heart of Lucifero and took away with it. Because I understand why no one didn't chase after him. Everybody is tired. Everybody is battered and bruised. Nobody got time to chase after another Supreme Devil. I just find it interesting how we see Noel's fight with Mekikula. Noel knows exactly where Mekikula's heart is. Strikes the heart. Between Xenon, we see Yuno knows where Xenon heart is. He strikes the heart. Asta versus Lucifero. He cut Lucifero in multiple hits. Somehow Asta misses his heart. I think that's a bit weird. I think some higher force was probably manipulating the quote unquote time, which quote unquote the clock theory might be true. I don't know. Like I think it's half and half. I believe in some parts. I don't believe that he was manipulating it. He was going to reverse, back to back until he got the right the right uh the right option. But I'll go later into that. But still, I do think something was weird about that. Either way, Adrenaline left with Lucifero's heart. Everyone on the ground. And here comes again with Tabata teasing, thinking that not and Yami was about to die, but then they got saved by Mimosa because Mimosa got healed. Mimosa energy got brought back by Charmy. So everyone is saved and everyone's good. Like I said, me personally, I really don't care. I like that. I like that now that everyone is alive for Nath and Yami. You can have some group interactions in the next arc. Unfortunately, it's gonna be the final arc, but I'm gonna just take it all in until it's the end. Whatever interaction they have, I'm gonna just go with it. But yeah, I really do like that everyone is now there. Now we can have some interactions and whatnot. Now, like I said, the last time with Gasha's death, this was a very controversial part. I'm not talking just about the deaths. I'm talking about the whole situation with Asa the Fate Lucifer. Me personally, I can completely understand why people don't like it. People don't like how at one point Asa was getting beaten up, and then the second point he had a power up, and then he defeated Lucifero. Like I said the last time, Tabata makes complete sense of this. It's just the way he went with it. Like, technically speaking, if Asa has anti-magic, why would he not be able to cancel out magic? It's just the fact how he got there. It's the fact how he went from not even be able to cancel out his magic when Lucifero stopped his blade with his bare hands to where now Lucifero can't even hurt him because his magic getting canceled out. It's like, how did he went from that high of a boost? Like, I understand that complete double union gets him there, but it's like if he was incomplete and then he became complete, what was the can we get a gauge or a percentage on how big the gap was? Because I refuse to believe the gap was that big. Cause this man completely defeated Lilith and Nama, a supreme ranked devil, in incomplete form. Against Lucifero, he couldn't beat him. Complete double union, he beat him. So the gap can't be that huge. But it's just wild how in incomplete he couldn't do it, but in complete form, it just fills in that gap that fast. I don't know. I just don't like how the gap gets filled up that fast. That's what I don't like. But I like how I like the complete double union. I understand how it came to be. I just don't like how it got to that gap that fast where he can completely overcome Lucifer. But yeah, that's the only thing I don't like. Tabata reviving characters. It is what it is, bro. I should hope that the next and final arc, Tabata goes all out. I hope he doesn't pull any punches. I hope whoever he kills off, he kills them off, and he doesn't tease any more people on the verge of dying. Yeah, this is kind of becoming the boy who cries wolf type deal, and I don't want it like that. I don't want Tabata's reputation to be perceived like that. I know Tabata is a really good artist. He makes some really good stories, like Hungry Joker, which I haven't completely read up to. I want to soon. But I really do hope Tabata like just goes off with this final arc. But I think that's the only thing people didn't like excuse me, people didn't like the power boost, how it happened, and people didn't like how Tabata revived characters again that was supposed to be dead. So I think that's it, because like people wanted Yami to die because people thought that was the right thing to do. People thought it felt right. People thought it felt right that Yami should die because like out of all the events leading up, Yami got captured. Yami was used as a catalyst for the Tree of Clifflaw. Yami fought against Lucifero, got impaled. People thought it was the right event to happen, but Tabata had other choices in mind. So yeah, but after all of that, with the Spade Kingdom finally saved, the Lucifer defeated. Um, at the end of that, we get that Yuno's mom is still alive. Some people are like, "Oh, if mom was alive, why didn't it not told about this before?" Me personally, it's like, what good would that do? The only thing I can see, only benefit I can see about not telling that his mom is alive is that if he goes to his mom and his mom tells that, hey, you have a grimoire that is specifically for you in the Spade Tower. Coincidentally, he already got there, before that even happened. So yeah, so I think other than that, I don't think really needed to know his mom was alive before then. Cause like, if he were to know, it's like imagine like you was an orphan, you in the battlefield, and someone tells you like, hey, you have a family member that's alive, but you never met them before, and they're in this area right now. It's like now you got that in your head, like not only am I fighting a battle, but I also got to worry about my family member being in extreme danger and risk in the same area. So it's like didn't need that in his conscience, especially not in this situation. But yeah. But other than that, we go back to Lee thanking Asa for avenging their mother and helping his revenge quest and whatnot. And then we get the panel of the broken clock tower they're standing on. Then we finally go to the last couple of pages with Damnatio confronting Julius about his research. I said it before in my previous chapter. Excuse me. I think in the panel it said Damnatio had checked the Black Clover records for demons, and it only goes back to 20 years. Why is that? Why only 20 years? I feel like it should be more than that. I feel like someone set something up to where they probably destroy some more evidence of devils. I don't know. It's weird. That's just me. But he only found records of like devils 20 years back, or 20 or 30. I can't remember. But either way, he found out that originally the highest ranking devils, it wasn't as followed. It wasn't as Lucifero, Beelzebub, and Megicula. It was Lucifero, Beelzebub, and Asaroth. So he puts two together because everybody knows the three strongest devils is Lucifero with gravity magic, Beelzebub with space magic, and Asaroth with time magic. Megicula does not have none of those spells. So obviously she filled in a place where Asaroth had taken the seat up. So Asaroth is somewhere else, and he puts two together, and he suspects that it might be Julius. Julius even suspected it was himself. Julius wasn't even aware of the situation until Damnatio told him. I like that. I like how Tabata set that up. So then, before Julius warned Damnatio, Julius' form changed, his identity changed, and we see that Julius is actually Lucius, the eldest Zogratis sibling. I don't like calling him the fourth Zogratis sibling because technically he's not the fourth, he's the first. He is the first sibling. That's just me. That's just a little tangent. But either way, we see Adrenaline is actually working with Lucius, and Lucius has the power of Asaroth, and Lucius is apparently the final villain, and apparently he is the ultimate Wizard King. And I think that was the best way to end off this chapter. Like, bro, like it's crazy how I don't know, bro. I find it crazy how Tabata did it. Tabata Tabata made one chapter where people was hating on him so bad that they just wanted him to just end the series. Then he made one chapter right after that to where people had just hopped back on his wave like, oh man, Sabata's the greatest ever. Sabata's the only one to do this. Sabata is this and that. It's like Sabata is like the only person I know that did that, where he had one people hate him and then another people back to liking him. I don't think that was his intention. I think the fan base is really just bipolar, bro. It's like I understand your frustration, but it's like it's crazy how y'all really had no faith in Tabata until after he drops his chapter. Like y'all hated him for this. Y'all hated him for a whole week because of this chapter, and then the next week, I won't say all y'all, but most of y'all went back to liking him. I got more respect for the people that didn't like Tabata and stick to that than the people who didn't like Tabata and went back to liking him. It's like y'all really had no faith in him, bro. To the people who did that. But either way, that's a tangent. But I like how Tabata did that. That was a really nice way to end this arc. I say in terms of everything, in terms of fights and story, I think I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10 because the fights are good. They're spectacular. Ooh, excuse me. The story is good too. In terms of other aspects, like the execution of some scenes, like reviving characters. Me personally, I kind of didn't like that, but like I said, I really don't care. But I know that's gonna affect the story, because that's gonna affect the rating of the story. Because some people didn't like that. I can understand that. I feel like because of that, that's why I'm gonna give it a 7. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 because I feel like if he would have let those characters die, then it would have been up to a 8 or a 9. Like even if Tabata didn't show off the tease, even if like he never showed signs where they was going to die, if he should made it to where like Gaja was never gonna risk his life, if Gaja never was in a chance where he was about to die, just like with Not and Yami, if he never did that, if he never teased that, that would have been better than him teasing the deaths and then not doing it. You know, it's like I get it that doing something than nothing, like doing something is better than doing nothing, but like half-assing it is, I think that's even worse for me. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I really like this art. Would I say it's better than the elf art? Nah, not. Nah, I'm gonna say it's better. I want to say it's probably like just one step below it. But yeah, this art was a really good art for me. So now that we at the end of the review, I wanted to give my little thoughts on what I think might happen in the upcoming and unfortunately final arc. I don't know if there's gonna be a time skip. If there's no time skip, then they're gonna go right into like the next sequence of events, probably in like 10 chapters, or maybe 4 chapters. I don't know, so short amount of chapters. But I feel like they might do a time skip because like I don't think Lucius will reveal himself just yet. I get it. He said that the time is now or time is up, but I feel like he means like in terms of his plan. Like I feel like he meant like time's up. My first half of the plan is up. Now it's time for my second half of the plan. So I feel like Lucius may have more things to set up for his plan to succeed. So I don't think he's gonna reveal himself just yet. I feel like he might do something to Damnatio. Like maybe he just wiped his memory of this event to where Damnation doesn't remember researching the devils at all. And I think maybe a time skip will go by to where, Black Clover has seen better days now. All the kingdoms are prospering good because all the kingdoms are in good relationships, except for the Diamond Kingdom. I don't know what's going on with the Diamond Kingdom. Haven't heard nothing about them yet. But I hope that, a time skip happened. Black Clover prospers. They build new they build a better economy. Like me personally, I feel like if they were to do a time skip, I can kind of see what Black Clover characters are going to do. What I can see, some characters still being in the Clover Kingdom. I can see some characters just settling down. I can see Ghost settling down with Gray, having kids. I can see, I don't know. I can still see Charmy in the group. I can see Finral stepping up to his family clan. Stepping up to be the lead house, or the lead the lead of his house. I can see Language still being a vice captain. I can see actually, like, Zora has so much potential. Zora literally has a whole record of researching magic. I feel like he could be a scholar to where he can teach young magic knights on how to improve on their magic. Like, Zora has so much potential to do so much. Because if you look at the Black Clover world, they don't have any schools. At least I don't think they do. Like, I don't know if royals have schools, but like the commoners and the peasants, they don't have schools. They should go around living life daily. I feel like if they have schools, and if Zora was a teacher, he can teach people a lot about magic. So yeah, but like I said, I can see a lot of things. I think in the future, Asa still won't be a captain yet. I can see Yami settling down with Charlotte. I forgot to add about that. Charlotte confesses her feelings to Yami. Technically, Yami didn't hear him. I think he's bullshitting. But like I said, I can see so many things. Like, people doing so many things in the future. I can see Nash. I can see Mary. And I can see that one sword dude back in that other village. Back when Heath invaded it. I can see them joining the Magic Knights. I can see other new characters. Like, maybe Black Clover would get some new characters into their group. Like, I would like that. If they have a time skip, I hope they do like maybe a 3 or 4 year time skip. I don't think that'll be enough to where they'll have, the current events I want them out. I want them to settle to be, but I feel like if they have a time skip, I think that would be better. Because I don't think Lucius wants to reveal his plan just yet. Because, like, we look at Lucius, like, think about it. Is Lucius really that bad of a guy? Oh wait, no, don't get me wrong. Like, he is a villain, but like, Lucius' intentions seems to be for the better of the world. If he wants people to have undying bodies, so I feel like it might be a situation where, like, he wants to see people prosper. Maybe, I don't know. Like, I feel like he either may go the way where he wants people to prosper, where he see like, oh, look at the path that I laid down. Look all the good that people are doing now. The royals and the nobles are being good friends with the commoners and peasants. No one's stabbing each other at the back. This is the kingdom that I always wanted. Or maybe it's like he might go with his plan already. Like, okay, since everyone is weakened, let me go ahead and kill everybody so I can make the undying bodies plan in motion already. I don't know. But like I said, I just can't wait for this chapter, for the for the chapter 332 to come up after this 3-month hiatus. We all been waiting a long time. I know we all been waiting, so we all just came hope to see what's exactly what happened. I just hope that Tabata makes a good entrance in his upcoming chapter, and I hope that this arc will be the best arc of all time. But yeah, I think that's all I gotta say. I think that's it. So yeah, I hope each and every Black Clover fan is hype as I am, and I hope that they have
I hope they have a lot of warm welcomes for Tabata when he comes back for his well-deserved break, and he brings out this new chapter. Also, side note, I can't wait to see what the popularity poll is. I can't wait to see what characters up there, and I want to see exactly what Tabata drew for the popularity poll. I hope we had enough time for that. But that's it. See ya.
Also forgot one thing I want to add. I hope Lucius have a villain group. You know how the I the Midnight Sun had a villain group. The Elves had a villain group. Dark Triad had a villain group. The Dark Triad. I hope Lucius has his own villain group. Like I wanna see Mars make an appearance. Maybe he becomes a bad guy again for uncertain reasons that we don't know why. Maybe those two hidden diamond mages that we haven't seen until the time for Morris was appeared. Excuse me. Maybe those people make a comeback. Like I want to see a new another villain group. That's how it always is. Like with Naruto, you had the Akatsuki, then you had Madara and Kabuto. In Bleach, you had the 13 court guard squad captain. You had the Espadas. You had the Stern Ritters. Like I hope in this arc they have a villain group that's like gonna be like hopefully way better than Dante and Monica combined. Jesus Christ, in terms of character. But other than that, I hope they come out with a new and better villain group. Maybe we get to see the other devils. We never got to see the Supreme Devils, the other Supreme Devils. Like I think off the top of my head, I think there's 7 levels and there's 7 devils, right? So we got Lilith and Nama, which is one. We have Megicula, Lucifero, Beelzebub. So that makes 4. What else? We have Astaroth is 6. I think Lucifugus is a Supreme Devil too. That would make 7. Oh, I guess that's it then. Right? Is it 7 levels or 8 levels? I can't remember. But like, I should hope we see. I feel like there's a couple more devils yet to be revealed. Like we don't know Beelzebub's design because we know how Tabata does these devils. It's kind of like catfish. Like the when you first see the devils out there in all black in these mature forms, but in their actual form they're completely different. Except for Lucifero. Lucifero look almost similar to his silhouette form. Beelzebub we have yet to see. Mikikula, we only saw her in that Kidis form because she was only 2/3. I want to say not 1/3, 2/3 complete. But other than that, I think that's it. I hope we see more devils. I hope we get more new power concepts. Maybe there's another way for Asa to get stronger. You know what people have been theorizing? Maybe Asa has his own magic. I don't know. I'm down with whatever. But okay, yeah. Now this is the complete end of it. So yeah, y'all have a good one.
All right, now I'm gonna start on the second half of the Black Clover, I guess Spade Kingdom Invasion arc review. This will be covering chapters 274 through 331. So in the beginning of the second half of the arc, we have the Black Clover, I guess invasion force or attack group already set up. They already sneaked into the Spade Kingdom, and they go ahead and just set out their plan. Knock explains the plan where each group or the group gonna be split into 3 separate groups, and they're gonna find the Dark Triad in order to stop them from completing the Tree of Quilfloth gate by defeating them. And while that's going on, when they're invading the castle, we see the Spade Kingdom resistance, where we see that there's actually a resistant force going against the Spade Kingdom, and they set up a plan with Noct to where they will appear as I guess basically as fodder, basically as to take their eyes off the actual threat, which is the Clover Kingdom. But we see that the Dark Triad has a plan of their own, which is
awakening the ancient devils. And that's one thing I want to get into a little bit about the ancient devils. It's like like Tabata showed us the ancient devils of the Spade